so let's make it count. It's a takedown, nobody can stop us now. Stand up, shout it out, sing it loud so the world can't drown us out. And before we depart, let's leave a mark, 'cause light shines brighter in the dark. When we scream, our lips don't make a sound. We march with feet on solid ground. We walk when no one wants to go on this untraveled road.
Welcome to the Attitude Pre-Show, where we're going to be highlighting the moments from Victory Road 2017, which was a very good pay-per-view. I'm pretty sure that he agrees as well. We're going to highlight what happened and basically what things will happen next for the superstars of Victory Road.
Victory Road was such an amazing show, such an amazing, platform for our superstars to show their talent. The Royal Rumble, you have to think, has promoted Firecracker into any kind of championship match that he wants, of his choosing.
I think that might have been Firecracker's biggest win of his career.
Yeah, very, very much so. I would have to think that, or, when he cashed in after winning the briefcase to win his first Fight Night Championship, monumental also.
Kind of feeling like he's made it. Mm-hmm. He's like a top star. Mm-hmm. He's got to capitalize on Fight Night.
Very true. How did you feel about the first match that you saw at Victory Road, MPK and Shadow?
Well, as we know, MPK's not that good when it comes to new superstars. But Shadow really proved himself because it feels like he dominated most of that matchup against MPK.
Yeah, I think it was an amazing showing of athletic ability by Shadow. We saw that he can step into the ring with a main eventer here at Fight Night Wrestling, and he can capitalize.
I think if Shadow wants to, he can go undefeated. He has the skills. He knows the whereabouts in the ring.
Very true. I think, he has his sights set on the NXT Championship. I would believe that's what his goal is now after we saw what conspired in the Fight Night Championship match between Hellstorm and Dr. X. But you have to think, Shadow has to believe in himself. He knows that in a year's time, he can be world champion. And I think, just that win over MPK has given him that, that sense of, greatness that he needed to feel coming into this company.
Yeah. The Fight Night title match shocked everybody. We'd be dumb not to talk about it. It was Hellstorm against Seth Adams in the Fight Night Championship. Hellstorm picking up the victory due to a bunch of interferences by Dr. X.
Very much so. His bodyguard, since we've seen when he debuted, he's been protecting Hellstorm.
At the point where he was kicked out. The referee said, "Get out of here."
Yeah, he had intervened too much. Hellstorm.
Seth Adams might have been Fight Night champion right now and working for Dr. X.
Very true. Seth Adams would be the champion. We saw he almost hit a couple of coast to coast on Hellstorm, and really I think he could have put him away, but
even his signature disaster kick off the ropes. That was I thought he was right there.
Very monumental showing by Seth Adams. He'd been away from Fight Night for a couple of months. He came back, made an impact at Inferno, made an impact at Victory Road, almost winning the Fight Night Championship if it wasn't for Dr. X and Hellstorm. But I think what's even better than the match is we need to talk about what conspired after the match. That's what we need to talk about. Hellstorm making Seth Adams submit in the middle of the ring with his calf, his calf crusher, whatever, the move that he does. And
let's take a look at what happened.
Yeah, let's take a replay look.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my goodness!
Dr. X shocking the nation.
Oh, shocking the nation by far. You have to think that's his biggest win he's had in his career here. Hellstorm, me from a personal standpoint, I've been watching professional wrestling for many years. I've been, an editor for multiple magazines, and I'd have to say, this may be the biggest blunder of Hellstorm's career, allowing Dr. X to have the briefcase, telling him to cash it in on the NXT Championship and not watching his back.
kind of felt like he was talking down to Dr. X, like, go get the smaller title. Well, I have the bigger title.
Yeah, and you have to think it was almost like a you know, what Hellstorm created has turned on him, like we've seen in Fight Night history. If I was Hellstorm, I would be watching Shadow, because Shadow has the possibility to be champion, and you know, he could turn his back on Hellstorm too, but it was just an amazing part of the show to see
Turn of events.
Dr. X win the Fight Night Championship from Hellstorm. You have to think Dr. X is gonna be the champion going into Fight Line, and you have to think,
Hellstorm wants his title back.
yeah, your headlining match could be Hellstorm and Dr. X. You know, as we segue out from the Fight Night Championship match, let's take a look at the World Heavyweight Championship match and a couple of replays that conspired there.
He's just mean. Nick Six apparently. Who's gonna be the love right? It's Nick Six. Stop raging. Gazin is your new world champion!
Gazin winning the World Heavyweight Championship yet again from his brother Nick Sick.
He's now a 5-time world champion.
Very true. Gazin has, you know, he's always had the ability to capture the World Championship. I think what really mattered was the people who were holding the belt. You think Colin, up until when he disappeared, like we've seen in the Colin Chronicles, Gazin had been trying to get the championship, but he had lost multiple times leading up to it. So now that he's able to get this championship shot by Nick Sick, submission match, he is, you know, one of his newest submissions, that Fujiwara armbar, locks it in around the head of Nick Sick, really just trying to rip his arm off his body.
Yeah, that's right, he did.
It was an amazing win by Gazin, and I give him all the credit of really upping his game here in the last few months.
But don't you think for Nick Sick, the exposed turnbuckle, Gazin, he kind of cheated.
I think,
Even though Nick Sick exposed the turnbuckle, Gazin, you think Nick Sick wants his title match.
I would imagine that Nick Sick does have his rematch clause to wrestle for the championship, but
then we
you
saw in
know,
the Royal Rumble match, he's like, I'm going to win the Rumble, I'm going to get my rematch against Gazin. And then the man showed up.
yeah. Let's segue into that. The Royal Rumble match, our main event. Let's take a look at the end of the Royal Rumble match.
Are these two men? Who's on the fight line? No, hold on! No, hold on! Stay in! No, no! Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the 2017 Royal Rumble matchup, Firecracker!
The Royal Rumble match may be the best Royal Rumble match we've ever had here in Fight Night Wrestling. Your winner, Firecracker. But like you were saying,
A crazy moment that took place.
so many moments. Just off in the beginning, the match started off with
The main
Nick
event of
Sick
Fight Line
and
5
Zack
that almost was.
Yeah, you know, those two starting off the match, Zack Tack getting eliminated, then coming back and eliminating Nick Sick.
The other way.
Unbelievable.
The other way. Nick Sick was eliminated. Zack got eliminated. Nick Sick
Yes, my bad. You know, it shows how much hatred those two have for each other. And going into Fight Line, you have to think the match that never was last year is going to happen this year.
With the looks of it, Nick Sick wants him now.
Yeah, now, yeah, maybe it's sundown, as that could be, you know, leading up. It's only 2 or 3 weeks until sundown. You have to think, if they can get a contract signing in, those two can wrestle whenever.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, Nick Sick is on his path of redemption to reclaim the championship, but I don't know if the crowd's going to be able to get behind Nick Sick when they're just fully invested in Zack
Or Nick
Tack.
Sick can't even get the title when he knows Zack Tack's in his way.
Yeah,
He has to get that first.
very true, very true.
Let's
Zack
skip
Tack.
to like middle of the Rumble match.
Okay.
With NPK on a roll, eliminating about, I think, 3 guys until number 11 hit in the dad's music.
Very true.
Very true.
Let's take a replay look at that.
Wait a minute! No way! No, hippies! That sounds like the band! No! Stop! NPK is out of the match! 11-13. 12-13. NPK angry.
As you've just seen, multiple years, NPK has been plagued by superstars in this company not letting him win the Royal Rumble match. 3 years in a row. Starting with the dad, segueing to Nick Sick, going back to the dad. The dad has been that itch on MPK's back that he cannot scratch, and as we saw in the Rumble, he was there alone with Leo Del Sol. The dad's music hit, and Leo capitalized, eliminating MPK. Leo, very impressed by Leo Del Sol, making it to the final 3. Unbelievable.
The former NXT champion, even though he didn't even hold that for a full-on day, he proved himself in the Rumble match, making it to the final 3.
Very true.
And that's hard to do.
Leading up into Fightline, I would, you'd be forced to believe that MPK is probably going to call out the dad, considering the allegations that the dad has put on MPK and MPK has put on the dad. They've been butting heads since the beginning.
The biggest part about that, though, is like, you never know when the dad's a joke.
Very true, yeah.
Go back to his feud with Gaz, he just shows up out of nowhere. First time in like 14 months before that, you don't know when he's going to show up.
He comes and goes, MPK wants him, but
The dad plays mind games.
The dad acts on his own terms.
Let's get to the end of the Rumble, though.
Yeah, let's see a replay of the end of the Royal Rumble match. Like we were saying earlier, Firecracker winning the 2017 Royal Rumble match. What does this do for his career? Where do we see him going in the next couple of months?
Well, Firecracker's a former 2-time Fight Night champion, but do you remember those title reigns? I don't remember that much.
When Firecracker was the champion?
Yeah.
No.
He held it and he kind of lost it. He had a problem holding on to the title. And ever since his return at Ignition, he's been on a rampage, beating everybody, choke slams. He won the Rumble match, like we just saw. He's on a roll. I think Gazin has a problem at Fight Night.
Very true. Looking into the history that these two have had just over the last couple months, their match that they had in Inferno, going into the Rumble, Gazin winning the World Championship, Firecracker winning the Rumble, you have to think.
I know there was a lot of backlash on Firecracker winning the Rumble match.
Very true, the people didn't like it, but you have to think Firecracker doesn't care. He doesn't care what the people think. Firecracker is on and has one goal, and that is the World Heavyweight Championship, and the person who currently holds it is Gazin. So you have to think, when these two megastars clash at Fightline, it's going to be huge.
One more thing I gotta point out from that Rumble, Puma making it to the very end of the Rumble match. Him having that briefcase, where do you think he sits right now with that briefcase? He's held it since Shell Shock.
I don't know.
He's kind of just been quiet, just moving along.
Puma's, I think he could have captured a world championship in the past couple of months, but considering
He hasn't won anything yet.
what's happened because of Hellstorm and Dr. X, all those rivalries that those three had coming up into Victory Road, I think Puma just needs to redesign, rebuild himself, and come back and reclaim the company that he, came into last year and built such momentum up in.
You gotta think, now that Dr. X is a champion, he's gotta watch his back as well, because there's another man with the briefcase, and that's Puma.
Very true. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been your Attitude pre-show panel. We will see you next week.